Poulter, the 2016 South African Rally and cross country champion. Leeroy, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Yeah, well, good, thank you. Thank you for coming around and coming to see me.
Leeroy, let's get right into it. You started off with go-karting. When did you decide that rally and cross country is something that you wanted to specialize in?
It's quite a strange story. I karting obviously been on the tar, and then I moved into circuit racing on the tar as well. And that was going to be the direction of where I wanted to go. And everyone's aspirations is to be in Formula One. And in 2006, I took a turn and we tried rallying, and it really went well. And we won the championship in the first year out in the A6 car. And since then, that's what happened. We got onto rallying, and now it's obviously to bigger things like the Dakar.
Leeroy, you've raced in quite a lot of different formats, and you've been doing this for quite some time now. When you started out, who were your role models, and have they changed since?
Look, I mean, the biggest role model I've seen in rallying is probably Sebastian Loeb, and guys like that. In Formula One, it was Ayrton Senna. And now it's quite strange, I'm doing the Dakar and I'm racing against those guys that I looked up to, so it's really enjoyable.
Leeroy, especially with motor racing, it's not a one-man thing. You've got an entire team behind you. Who would you say your support base has been?
I think the biggest support comes from, obviously here in South Africa, is Toyota Motorsport, which is it's head by Glenn Hall, Hall Speed. And I mean, they've got a guy, I think they've got 22 guys inside the shop who, the cars are built here locally, everything inside the shop. And I mean, they've done an amazing job to do the Dakar with cars that are built here, and to really perform and to come in the top three is pretty amazing.
With racing, it's not just about the car, but it's about the athlete's or the driver's ability to push that car to its maximum. What does your training entail?
Well, there's two different sides of it. Locally, there's a lot of gym work, but I think mainly the Dakar is quite important. I spend probably 2 hours a day in it's a training called Base Fit, which is more like a fitness program that you repeat quite a lot. It works on your core muscles, which you need quite a lot. You're sitting in a chair for 8 hours a day, and you need a lot of strength around your core. And then mountain biking on weekends, I spend 3 to 4 hours on a mountain bike. And the biggest thing that we learned this previous year was altitude. So we train with altitude masks. And about 3 months before the event, we actually sleep in an altitude tent in your room. You put it over your bed, and it takes all the oxygen out. So it's very different to the training that you normally do.
Last year, you won both the rally and the cross-country championships. Talk us through your year last year. Were there any difficulties? And if there were, what were they? What went well for you? And what did it feel like to eventually be named champion in both formats?
Yeah, look, last year it's the best year I've probably had in my career. To win both championships, it last was done 30 years ago. So it was a big goal for me. It's never easy, those championships. They're different in every respect, and we were pushed by teammates and by rivalry the whole year. So we were fortunate. We won every single round last year that we competed in, and obviously winning the championship was important. After that, it was a bit unlucky. We were diagnosed with a tumour on the brain, and couldn't do Dakar. So had an op in October, and everything removed. Everything is nice and clean now, and so we can start training and carry on for this year.
Talking about the Dakar, in 2015 you finished 5th overall. What is the hardest thing about doing the Dakar?
Yeah, I think the toughest part about Dakar is definitely, like I said before, the time in the seat. It's 7 to 8 hours a day in the car. It's for 2.5 weeks, and the food is critical. You eat energy bars, and you sort of get tired of the energy bars. They become like chewing gum eventually. And you've got to train yourself on what to eat and what to drink, and basically the fitter you are, the better you'll do at Dakar.
You know, driving has its own dangers, and on top of that, you are now racing in a vehicle. Any serious injuries you've sustained? Any serious crashes you've been involved in?
No, I've been in, just before karting, I raced motocross, and I broke my knee really badly and crushed the growth plates and had plates and pins. And obviously, my mom said straight away, then you're moving on to four wheels, and that's how karting basically started. But on the circuit and in rallying, I've had some big crashes and rolls at over 170 kilometers an hour, and I've walked out the car being okay. So I should think it's safe, and I've been pretty lucky and come out all good.
With rally, cross country, and Dakar, you're not driving alone. You have a co-driver. What is his role?
Well, obviously, a co-driver is the biggest role is navigation. He's got to tell me where to go, and sometimes got to control the speed a little bit because he can see something coming that he's seen that's dangerous. So he's got to slow me down. And it's a good relation. It must be a good relationship. Like I said, you spend 2.5 weeks together. It's almost like having your wife in the car and having to go at you every day. And there are ups and downs in the car. So you got to have a good relationship with him, and he's got to be really good and confident in what he's doing on the navigation, which makes you a strong team.
Do you have multiple co-drivers, or do you use the same guy for all formats?
No, in the rallying I use a girl, Alvin Kutsia. We started together, and the notes are slightly different in the different type of terrains. Rallying is more of it's a pace note, which you read really fast, where off-road is it's more you wait 10 kilometers, there's another call, or 3 kilometers, so there's quite big gaps, where rallying it's every 100 meters she's got to talk.
Leeroy, you've had a stellar career, there's no denying that. Besides from being crowned the rally and cross-country champion, what else has stood out for you?
I think, the goal is obviously Dakar now. It was unfortunate I couldn't do this one. We were really ready for it, but I think to be in the top 3 in Dakar is a goal, and then I think the biggest goal of all is to win Dakar is a dream that can come true for me.
Your aspirations going forward, besides from Dakar, is there anything else you would like to achieve?
Look, in motorsport I've done a lot, and throughout karting, cars on the track, and we've won in every category. And what I've been doing in the last couple of years, about 2-3 years now, is supporting young kids through the ranks. And I think once I've stopped, I'd like to kind of nurture young kids on and see if I can push them on to what I've done.
Talking about the next generation of drivers, you are a role model and inspiration yourself, there's no denying that. For the next generation of drivers, what would you say to them?
I think the biggest thing that I chat to them all the time, everyone moans that it's too expensive for sport and you can never do it, but I came from a background that we were also not really rich and had a lot of money, and if you keep your head down and keep on pushing, you'll get there. And if you're talented and the guys see you, you will be seen by a manufacturer, and you'll perform.
Game On Magazine would like to thank you, Leeroy, for taking some time with us to chat about your career, your aspirations, and your special message to the next generation of drivers. So thank you so much, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you.